Hi YouTube! I'm back in my apartment. I just had a birthday. Everything's exciting, but I'm just gonna hop right into the video. As you can tell by the title, I am doing a game rave of Animal Crossing New Leaf. It is for the Nintendo 3DS. I've played Animal Crossing for years and I'm absolutely obsessed, and this one, New Leaf, is definitely my favorite installment of all of them. A lot of people are confused as to the point of Animal Crossing. In fact, even after playing it for years, I've had a hard time explaining to people just what you're supposed to be doing exactly. So I'm just going to quote a Game FAQs guide by Super Luigi 16. The dry definition is the following. Animal Crossing is a real-time virtual reality game, which means that you control your own avatar in an environment that progresses incognito with real time. But there's a lot more to Animal Crossing. Firstly, Animal Crossing for me tends to be more than the sum of a lot of parts. There are the routine tasks, watering flowers, checking the shops, buying and selling turnips. Think stock market just with stocks. Then there are the out of the ordinary, every once in a while tasks, going to someone else's town, redecorating your house, going fishing, catching bugs, going diving, heading to the island, renovating your town, starting community projects and other mayoral duties. So your presence in New Leaf is basically you running a town without dealing with all the messy, undesirable real-life stuff like work, school, and in-laws. Insane. Now for the details. With this game, I can't get too detailed because I could really sit here for hours and talk about all the intricacies of it. I might do video game playthroughs on another channel, so tell me what you think about that. So first I'm going to talk about the main characters you interact with and the different buildings and features of the world. Then I'll tell you what you spend a lot of time doing to make money and as mayor of your town. First off, there are the villagers in your town. I think there will be anywhere from 5 to 10 villagers in your town at one time. They each have their own house. They can be so many different species of animals, you're the only human. They're like deer and frogs and bears and cats and dogs and wolves and a few other things. And they all have different types of personalities, from sporty to preppy to angry and gloomy and just all these other things. So that makes conversations with them interesting. Now for the businesses and the characters that run them, I'm only going to talk about the starting buildings that you get when you first move into your town, but you do progress more and get more buildings, which I'll go over those just a little bit. So in the main town area, you have the town hall, which is run technically by you, but really by Isabel, your assistant. And there is retail, where you can buy furniture that has been put up by other villagers in your town. You can sell your own furniture to other people, or you can sell it directly to Reese and get money right there. You're eventually able to customize some of your furniture there. Now for all the buildings on Main Street, which is at the north of your town behind the train tracks. There's the museum, where you can donate fish, bugs, fossils, and art. You can only donate like one of each thing, but you can go through the museum and see everything that you've donated. There is Knucks Homes, which is where you go to expand your house and to buy renovations for the outside, mailboxes and the exterior walls and the fence and the stonework and all that. Then there's the post office, which is pretty boring. I mean, you can send letters to other villagers, to people in other towns, to your future self, and you can access your bank account, you can deposit money and save it up and get interest, and you can pay off your loans for your house. This one isn't actually a building, it's in the middle of Main Street with an arch and a dog waiting for you underneath. It's the Happy Home Showcase. Here you can visit homes of other people that you've interacted with via Spot Pass and Street Pass. You can actually buy the furniture in their house and have it delivered to you. Then there's the Nookling store. It starts out as Nookling Junction, very, very small, but has 5 upgrades, so it eventually becomes this huge 3-story building. There you can buy furniture and tools and wallpaper and carpet, and the items rotate every day too. Next there's the Able Sisters. This is where you can buy all sorts of clothes and accessories. You can also make your own designs there. Those are all the main ones, but eventually you'll get the Dream Suite, where you can dream of other people's towns. Club LOL, where KK Slider performs every night. Gracie Grace's furniture and accessory store, which will appear on the 3rd floor of the final Nookling store expansion. A garden shop with flowers and saplings, the Shampoodle hair salon at the top of Able Sisters, and the Kicks shoe and sock store. Now an old Animal Crossing feature that has made a return is the island, which you can access via boat. This is where the former Mayor Tortimer has retired to in its summer all year long. This is where a lot of people make the bulk of their money because it's easier to catch rarer fish and bugs, which will sell for a higher price at retail. You can also go on tours, which are mini games that have you do things like catching a certain amount of fish in a certain amount of time, or bugs, or finding things in a scavenger hunt. And you win a certain amount of medals if you do well, which you can buy things in the little island store because real money doesn't work on the island for whatever reason. In the island store, it sells exclusive mermaid furniture and tropical clothing and a few other knickknacks. So I've mentioned fishing and bug catching. This is arguably the best way to make money so that you can build onto your town and expand your house. Once you have a fishing rod and a net, you can start building your collection of little animals. You'll see shadows of fish in rivers, ponds, and oceans, and you can cast your line in there and hopefully get one to bite, and hopefully you'll reel it in and not get a really sucky one like a sea bass. And bugs you'll see on flowers and trees and the ground and flying around in the air. So if you angle your net right and don't scare it off, hopefully you'll catch one. The first of each species is normally donated to the museum so you can go and look at them, but you don't have to do that. Majority of them you sell to Reese at retail to make a buttload of money. There are well over 100 types of fish and bugs to catch. Some are very common and sell for very little, but some are very rare and sell for a lot. And some are year-round, but some only come out during certain seasons. So it's really fun to try and catch all the different kinds of fish and bugs and make tons of money off of them. There are a few other things you can do to make money, but none of them are nearly as fun or profitable. The other fun thing you do aside from your mayoral duties is building onto your house. It starts out with a very small one room, but you can start expanding that room, add 2 other rooms onto the main level, add a second story and a basement. And each time you have to pay more money to Tom Nook in order to get the next expansion. A new feature for New Leaf is that you get to renovate the exterior of your house. Like I mentioned earlier, you go to Knucks Homes to get all those things. There's a lot of different customization you can do with that. And obviously you can also decorate the rooms inside your house with different wallpaper, flooring, and furniture. Most furniture comes in series or themes, but you purchase them individually and you don't have to set them up in a theme. You can do it however you want. But it's fun if you find a series that you really like and you try to collect all the different pieces of furniture from it. My personal favorite collection is the Cabin series, but there are tons of others, like the Ice series, which I really want because Frozen. There's the Mermaid series, the Exotic series, the Modern Woods series, and the list goes on. But the main big thing for New Leaf, you are the mayor of your town. In other Animal Crossing games, you are just another resident, but in New Leaf, you are the leader. Huzzah! No? Okay. There are 2 big new things you get to do as mayor of your town. The first is instating an ordinance. There are 4 you can choose from, and you can only have 1 in your town at one time, but you can change it whenever you want. The first is the Early Bird Ordinance, which makes shops open and villagers wake up a few hours earlier. Next is the Night Owl Ordinance, which makes shop close and villagers stay awake a few hours later. I don't think either of these are very beneficial unless you can't play during normal hours and you're a real stickler for that real-time experience. Now the third is the Beautiful Town Ordinance, where several things happen. Villagers are more likely to water and plant flowers. Time traveling doesn't affect the environment, cockroaches won't appear, weeds will appear less often, hybrid flowers are more likely to spawn, and you won't fish trash out of the water. And the fourth ordinance is the Belden Ordinance. With this one, shops sell and buy items for 20% more, retail pays extra for 2 types of items a day instead of 1, and metals obtained on the island increase. This is personally my favorite ordinance because it makes it easier to expand your home and build onto your town. But all the ordinances have their place. The second and most awesome thing you get to do as mayor is control the public works projects. These projects allow you to customize your town like never before by adding new buildings, renovating old buildings, constructing landmarks, and placing aesthetic features throughout the town. You get to choose from a list of projects and choose exactly where it'll go. Each project costs a different amount of money and you have to fund it almost entirely on your own, which is where that Belden Ordinance comes in handy. Once you donate all the funds, the project will be completed the next day. Different projects include things like additional bridges, benches, a fountain, a cafe, a police station, and various kinds of art, like a flower bed, topiaries, a Zen garden, and even famous landmarks from around the world. Unfortunately, you start off with a very limited list, but villagers from around your town will suggest new things to you as time goes on, so you'll get to build new cool things. But none of these are things you have to do to play the game. After following Isabelle and Tom Nook's instructions for the first couple days, you're pretty much set loose to do whatever you want. You could focus entirely on public works projects, you could spend your days fishing and catching bugs, you could spend all your money on home expansions and furniture, or you could do a mix of all of it. There are still so many things I haven't even touched on. There are fishing tournaments to win, snowmen to craft, flowers to breed, roads to build, orchards to arrange, and much more. The possibilities for New Leaf are so exciting and I really could talk about them for hours, but I won't on this channel. Hopefully this gave you some interesting insight into the world of Animal Crossing New Leaf. If you have it, please comment and let me know what your favorite features are from this game and if you found any little secrets that you want to share with everybody. Let me know if you have any questions or video suggestions. I try to respond to all the comments I get. Till next time, you all have a great day, be kind to one another, and don't forget to be awesome. Bye!